inches away from finishing The Eagle Has Flown by Jack Higgins, which is the sequel to The Eagle Has Landed. And anyone who knows that story will know that, well, basically at the end, this happens. The sequel? Haha, Michael Caine isn't dead. But this isn't that story. Oh no. Because if you've been hanging around here for a while, you'll know I'm like YouTube's biggest Graham Greene fanboy. Like, I did my master's degree on sex and gender in Graham Greene's books, specifically Brighton Rock. So I thought, okay, Eagle has flown, the eagle is flying off into the sky. Let's read some Graham Greene next. Now, during my master's degree, there were two Graham Greene books I really wanted to get hold of, and those are the two that Greene himself suppressed: The Name of Action and Rumour at Nightfall. I gave up hope of ever finding them. But you know where this is going, don't you? One chapter into The Name of Action, the first of the suppressed books, I've found something interesting. Can you hear the old man upstairs making noise? The main character, Oliver Chance, goes to visit a guy called Kurtz. As in Kurtz, you know, Heart of Darkness. I'm pretty sure that's where Greene got the name from, because he was like a massive Conrad fan. Massive Joseph Conrad fan. He's from the Rhineland, from Trier, where, I'm not sure when the book is set, but there's like a dictator and literature is being suppressed, censored. And Kurtz talks about this. Kurtz is specifically anti-censorship, and there's a sense of irony in this, in that this is a book that was censored, that was suppressed, not by a dictator, but by the writer himself. Alright, this book is getting interesting. Chance has gone to Trier, to the Rhineland, to kill a German dictator. A dictator called de Mesner. Now remember, this was written in 1930. So the book, essentially, is about a German fascistic dictator, written before Hitler came to power. Now, doesn't that strike you as intriguing? Certainly, when I read that, it certainly made my ears prick up. It's very interesting. But, you know what's even more interesting? Greene appears to be going in a sympathetic direction. It seems like Chant is falling in with de Mesner, thinking he has the right ideas. And if that's the case, no wonder Graham Greene suppressed this. Because in the 1930s, a book like that would have been dangerous. Could have given people the wrong ideas. I mean, yeah, he said it was like the characters were weak, Chant was weak. But could Hitler have played a role in the suppression of this book? I don't know. That really is good soup. The Name of Action is definitely not Greene's worst book. It's not Ministry of Fear. It's not England Made Me. It's not Brighton Rock either. It's not The Third Man. It's not any of the books I love. But I think it's competent. It's alright. I think, for what it is. And it's not the kind of book you would expect from Graham Greene. It's not a kind of dark, gritty, oh, I hate using the word gritty. Sounds like it's got pebbles in it. Or little bits of rock. What are pebbles if not little bits of rock, James? It's more a Ruritanian kind of romance, a more kind of Prisoner of Zenda type book. And it's only really the type of book that could have been written prior to the 1930s. Prior to the First World War even. It's a young writer's book, it's an early book, you can tell. It's got those childhood influences there. You can sort of see the sort of Anthony Hope, Joseph Conrad sort of influences on there. I mean, there's a character there called Kurtz, so Greene said that it was Chant's character that caused him to suppress this book, that he was too romantic. But I think that works in his favour. I think that is a fantastic character flaw, because he goes through the book wanting a kind of Les Mis style revolution in Trier, and he's told constantly, that isn't going to work, that's just going to cause death and bloodshed, and that's not going to happen. I think that's a great character flaw, that Chant keeps wanting this right up until the end. And I think the romanticism, the overly young romantic attitude, is a great character flaw to have. And personally, I don't think that's the only reason Greene suppressed this book. He wrote it 1929, 1930. Pre-Hitler. Pre-Nazi. And the book is not pro-dictatorship, but certainly sympathetic towards de Masner, the dictator in the book. It attempts to put his view across in a sympathetic way. Not pro those views, but at least it tries to make the audience understand them. And I think after 1933, that would have looked... well, this book would not have aged well. Let's put it that way. And I think maybe that kind of worried Greene a bit. I think maybe he didn't want a book out there which looked like it might be sympathetic towards Hitler, sympathetic towards the Nazis. I don't think he wanted people to get the wrong idea. So I enjoyed this book. I did. I think not Greene's best, but I think maybe it does deserve a reappraisal. And you could get rid of the Fagin problem with it, no problem. You could republish it if the Graham Greene estate would allow it. It was worth reading. It was an interesting read.